Hey you guys, welcome back to Romance Review TV with Lady T, and we're going to talk about a little bit of something that happened on Married at First Sight UK Season 7 episode number 9, and kind of this little uproar about double standards about Kasia and Kwame, and how, she discussed how she wanted to take the relationship to the next level. So folks have been talking about it, so we're going to talk about it too. But before we do, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to this channel, and please don't forget to like and share. So I don't know if you watched the episode yesterday, but there were a lot of fans calling it embarrassing how Kasia kind of spoke about, everything with taking the relationship to the next level. So much so that people were pretty much saying it's double standard. So as we all know, it looks like Kasia, and Kwame seem to be getting on like a house on fire ever since they said I do. However, the fans kind of notice how Kasia has been growing frustrated with her new husband after she questioned him on the level of intimacy. And she made her feelings clear about the two of them taking their marriage to the next level, although Kwame explained that he didn't want to rush in anything. Now, we saw some scenes that aired on Monday night's episode where Kasia, seemed to pressure her new husband, telling him that, she's ready to get more physical. And she says, I quote, my issue is you have been my rock, but my rock is in the friend zone. Now, Kwame replied back, so you want me to be your rock as a man? Now, Kasia has this whole definition of friends, and then there's obviously, the proper consummating of the marriage and all of that. And that had not been ventured into, according to Kwame. And Kasia was like, well, look, we need to get our act together as a partnership because I have had effing enough. And she turned to her husband saying, babes, I want to get naked and I'm dying to get naked. And then the bride, she later on said, I want love. I don't want a buddy. And as Kasia served up dinner, he talked about how she had skills in the kitchen. And she was like, well, I got skills in other areas too. Other areas you've yet to explore. Now, after saying all of that, the fans and the viewers kind of felt that if it was the other way around and Kwame was the one putting pressure on Kasia, it would have been a whole lot different. And there was some that pretty much said about her behavior as being embarrassing, while others kind of felt her behavior was sort of a double standard. There was one fan, that had talked about, said Kasia's becoming a bit of a sex pest. And that's what, Kwame would be viewed as if he was putting on the same pressure to have sex too. And it's kind of off-putting according to that particular fan. There was somebody else that said, I don't know. I don't think Kasia should stop now. She's offering herself up on a plate to Kwame and he's still not interested. It's embarrassing. Others was like, if the roles were reversed and Kasia and Kwame was in this situation and it was Kwame trying to force upon Kasia, man, it would have been a whole lot of complaints to deal with. And if Kasia was a man, her behavior would be seen as predatory. So people was like, come on now. So, there were other people that thought her efforts to try to get it in with Kwame being way too intense. It would be creepy if it was the other way around. Now, there were some fans that was praising her for going after what she wanted, calling it, all of this a little bit funny. And some folks was like, we're not ready for her. But also, there was somebody that had said that, Kasia needs someone to match her energy, someone who's bubbly and a bit silly, and Kwame is not that. So I don't even know why they put these two together. It just doesn't make sense. But yeah, we probably haven't seen the end of those two, and it's probably going to get even crazier. But speaking of crazy, we can't leave this particular short recap without talking about Duka and Whitney. So looked like Duka, and he made the decision to stay after the last commitment ceremony. He decides to move into his apartment without his wife Whitney, but he is still hopeful she'll turn up because he believed that miracles do happen. And I mean, it has not been, sweet sailing for these two. I mean, she claims she lost her wedding ring on a safari when they were in South Africa. She rejected his offer to get a replacement. I mean, it's just been not good since the two of them met at the altar. I mean, since the first date, Whitney has been less than impressed, and she hadn't held back when it came to her opinion and views, making it perfectly clear that Duka does not match up to her high expectations. She's talking about how she wanted a man who was towering over her like a brick house, comparing Duka to a shed. I mean, it was crazy. But what we did see in this particular episode is the fact that he was entering into his new apartment with all of his belongings alone. And he said that he hasn't even spoken to Whitney. People need time to reevaluate, have their own thoughts, he said, following all that drama that they had. We even see him pick up a picture frame looking at the wedding photo, talking about, wow, how terrified she looked. And I'm like, she already said she don't want to stay in the process. However, with him, he's saying that he's been very open. He's been trying to engage her, engage himself, tried to be open arms about everything, but she has not. Now, despite, his relationship not being in the best place right now, he is refusing to give up hope. And deep down, he's hoping that Whitney just turn up somehow. He said that he don't know where her head is, but he does think that she owes it to herself and to this process to give it a go. After reflecting on the time on the show, he was like, it's part of the journey. Everything is not roses. But he do believe miracles do happen, and that, he genuinely believes that there's a spark somewhere between him and Whitney to move forward from this. Now, I guess it remains to be seen whether Whitney will actually show up and give their marriage another go, but the whole romance is certainly on thin ice, as, she branded him at that commitment ceremony as fake, and it was interesting that Duka even told the viewers that his wife is caring. I don't know unless he sees something that we don't see. I mean, Whitney has other opinions, especially, with her husband, of course, later admitting that the idea of moving in with him was daunting. So, dude, I don't know. How many times do you need a person to tell you they don't want to be with you? Unless something is going to miraculously change, I guess we'll see. But he's calling himself respectful. I know the fans do. Whereas, a lot of the fans think that Whitney just lost her ring on purpose, So we'll have to see. But so far, this is a crazy season when it comes to these two. Okay, you guys, let me know your thoughts. Let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. What do you think about this whole situation with Kasia and Kwame? Do you think it's a double standard? If he was on the opposite end doing what Kasia is doing, do you think it would look that much worse, or he would be held at a whole different level when it comes to the demands of intimacy? And then what do you think about this whole thing with Duka and Whitney? Duka, should he move on, or should he stick it out through the process to see if he can kind of, wait for Whitney to come around? Now, according to her, we got to keep watching because obviously something is subject to change, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. So I hope you enjoyed this quick recap of Married at First Sight UK Season 7, Episode 9. Let me know your thoughts, and until the next video, like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you soon. Bye-bye.